Alright guys, this is my 95 YJ Build walk around video. I'm going to go over the drivetrain. The tires, the wheels, shocks. This is a budget build. I think it's one of the best platforms to start wheeling in. A little cheaper than other rigs that you can build. So we'll get right into it. First, the body's beat up. This thing's definitely been used on the rocks. We got the metal cloak. I got these on Facebook Marketplace. I got the arched ones. I'd rather get the flat ones, but these were such a good deal that I had to pick them up. So the metal cloak fenders, you have the Moto bilt rock sliders here. These things take a beating, no problem. Go to the other side, or actually we'll start at the back here. You got the Moto bilt stretch kit for the leaf springs. It's got the bumper, the heavy D-rings, the D-ring mounts. Got normal sized shackles. Got XJ springs in the rear, spring over on the axle. You got Moto built comp cut fenders, the rear fenders here. These take a beating with scraping some rocks at Roush Creek. Here's the other side of the rock slider, front fender, then to finish it off with the Moto built front bumper. Alright, so next we'll jump into the way cooler stuff. Front axle. This is a 78 Dana 60, the Snow Fighter edition. You got Moto built diff cover here. It's spring over, 1-ton steering. You got a Durango steering box that's tapped for hydro assist. This thing's been doing pretty well so far. I have a trail gear steering ram, an 8-inch ram, and a PSC power steering pump, and the reservoir. You can see with the leaf springs, I just put a little notch on this part of the axle here, that web coming off of the center diff there. So I kind of grinded it out so the U-bolt would fit in there. I also have 35 spline outer axle shafts, the stub shafts, and stock inner shafts. You have the crossover steering for the knuckles bolted up there. Let's go around to the drive shaft. We got Tom Woods front and rear drive shafts. 1350 yokes. We got the Barnes 4-wheel drive skid plate here. It's notched out for the trans and the front drive shaft. The front suspension, just stock aftermarket leaf springs. They are bent up, but they've been lasting pretty well here. And I have the bump stops to prevent them from going too far up. But this thing actually flexes out pretty good. We moved the steering box forward using, I forget which kit. I think Barnes 4-wheel drive moves this. This is the bracket. It moves it up an inch, which helps with the steering. You have the Smitty built winch up front. Luckily, I don't have to use that too much. So that's pretty much the front end on this thing. We'll go to the tires and the wheels. 40-inch Pro Comp tires. The MT2s, Extreme MT2s. These things are holding up good. Again, I got it off the Facebook Marketplace used. I think I paid $1,000 for all four. Tread is in pretty good shape. Then for the beadlock wheels, we have Dirt Lifestyle. These are, I believe, the Canyons. So these things are great. They take a little bit of a beating so far, but I think they're great wheels. For the hubs, for the 35 spline outers, I got the Yukon locking hubs on both sides. Sometimes they're a little tight to move, but so far so good. And the cool thing about these, I wanted to get the worn ones, but they were sold out. The Yukon ones, when they break, they stay locked. So they'll still be locked, you know, engaged. So you'll still have four-wheel drive. So I thought that was pretty cool. We'll move to the rear. Like I said, we got XJ springs with the stretch, 6-inch stretch. We got a Dana 60 out of a 70s Ford. Motobilt, or I'm sorry, Rough Stuff diff cover. Spring over axle, Bilstein shocks. It's got the anti-wrap bar. I also bought that used. Let me get a shot of it up front. Got the rear disc brake conversion. You can see I bought it like that, which was cool. I just had to buy a new caliper recently because that one was seized. Got a Tom Woods drive shaft. Again, 1350s. You can see it there. Here's the anti-wrap bar. And with the stretch, you know, we just put little shock hoops here on both sides. I think I still have, it is still 30 spline axles in the rear, so that's the weak point. Definitely gonna have to change that soon. The exhaust is rigged up right now, just a flex pipe there. The muffler's beat up. We welded this cross member for the anti-wrap bar. And for the front, let me move back up to the front here. These are aftermarket brackets, and it bumps out the mount to match the width of the wider 78 Dana 60. It's not that much wider, but I wanted beefier brackets anyway. So they give you that. You weld these in. We move these forward about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. On this side, they give you this piece which bolts in, and then we welded it here and here. There's a little metal cylinder that you put in between when you bolt it together. You can see the angle of the shackle. It's really pushed forward. And the frame was also notched for that drag link to clear, and it's still rubbing. You can see the marks. So now we'll move back under, which is pretty much the best part about this Jeep, the Atlas transfer case. This thing's an absolutely game-changing addition to the Jeep. Move up here, show you the levers. You know, it is the 4-speed Atlas, the lowest one you can get. Front, rear. There's the major gear, you know, the gear reduction for 2 to 7. The stock gear reduction. And don't mind all this. This was just kind of a quick cover I put on. You know, these have to be finished. And for with this in high, you know, not the reduction, just in high, These in low will put you at 4.3 to 1. And then 4.3 plus the 2.7, you're looking at, I think, 11.1 to 1. So it's super, super low. It could be even more than that, 11.3. It's on the website. Absolute game changer. I'm still learning it. You know, I want to put a valve for to lock up hydraulically lock up the rear brakes, so I could do front digs. That's going to be next. I'll have a video on that. But absolutely the best thing I did to this Jeep. Next, we have a trail gear cage. I got to repaint it, resand it. It's starting to rust out, but it is a kit. Not too bad. You got the cross braces up here. And then it comes down, you know, the piece on each side. And you have this crossbar here. And it just welds into the stock cage. Way better than stock, and it's pretty cheap. So again, this is on a budget. And it does still have the 4-cylinder in it. Eventually I want to take it out and put in, I got a 5.3, you know, Chevy engine, common swap in these things, so that is going to be next. And with the cage, one of the best things we also did was we tied the cage into the frame. You can see in all spots, boom, there, and underneath here, you can see we tied it into the cage, into the frame. So in a rollover, this thing should be pretty stout. Yeah, future upgrades to this, definitely the V8 swap. Do a little something with the steering. I want to get a better turning radius. The Atlas just makes this thing so much more capable. And the leaf springs are working great. Like I said, I think this is one of the best budget builds you could do. Eventually, add a little more to the cage, get different seats, tie the seats into the cage. But right now, this thing does absolutely awesome in the rocks. I'm on the East Coast. It crawls. It's pretty. I could put it pretty much anywhere I want. I'm totally happy with it. And again, just budget friendly. Great little Jeep to get started. And guys, if you want to see more videos of this thing getting its butt kicked off-road on the rocks on the East Coast, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Love it. See you on the next one.